Okay, so my background is I'm originally Canadian, but I moved to the U.S. When I was 18. I went to undergrad at the University of Pennsylvania, and then when I graduated, I moved to New York City, and I was there for the next 22, 23 years. So backgrounds in investment banking, always in equity capital markets. I also was a portfolio manager at a hedge fund in Connecticut for a number of years, and came back to Canada in late 2018. Yeah, so I'm covering Parry Sound, but I also help out with sort of a utility player with Sudbury and North Bay as well. It's a place it's close to family, which is still in Aurelia, but also a place that my family had spent summers at when I was younger. So it was just a familiar place and a beautiful place that we wanted to live in. I think one of the biggest things about the area is its unique position in that it's still got a really really important tourist industry. So it's a place that's booming in the summer, and I think it's not that people don't know that, but it's kind of I don't know, I think it's just got a lot of potential in terms of its proximity to places that have grown tremendously, like Barrie. It's a commutable city from there. We've got we now have a Venture Bay studio here, run out of the Canadore campus, the Parry Sound campus of Canadore College. People that travel here, we have a lot of visitors from the cruise industry. This year we're expecting 175,000 tourists to come by cruise ship. Anything having to do with tourism. I think it was an area that saw a pretty big migration from the GTA during the pandemic, and now I think there's just an opportunity for anything in retail, restaurants, hospitality. There's a lot more people that I think the demand has just really increased since the pandemic, and I think those businesses are starting to thrive again. And I think we're hoping to attract more entrepreneurs in the sort of tech, healthcare, and more growth sectors. But right now, it's in this area at least, it's more tourism based. From an investor standpoint, that there is just a big desire for Northern Ontario people to support Northern Ontario businesses, and I think that's probably the biggest connection that drives deal flow and investment, is that people want to see businesses locate here and do well here, and I think there's a lot of pride and connection among that. It's also, we've got some really big industries, mining, forestry, just a couple that can support and feed and grow an ecosystem of innovation. Two of them which seem to be really off to the races are Flowsonics and Symboticware. I think they've seen significant growth and significant valuations over the past sort of 6 months or so. I think those are two big success stories. Also, iRegained is another company that I think is doing really good things in the area of stroke recovery and rehab. I've seen that team grow from nothing pretty much several years ago to just a hub of activity. It's excitement. I went out to dinner with their team last summer actually, and I was really just kind of blown away by how that team has grown and the talent that they've been able to largely get locally. I think that's been a real showcase for what you can do. Wanted to be an entrepreneur for the first time. I've always been an investor. I've always been, sort of an intermediary as a banker or whatever it is. But I've never actually sat on the other side of the table. Yeah, I think another one is, this does happen in really early stage at the angel level. So sometimes you have to be a little bit tolerant of it, but I like to see skin in the game, whether that's someone's put their own money into the company, or they've quit their well-paying job in order to do it full time, or some sort of skin in the game that would sort of align my interests as an investor. Know how much the company's raising and what the use of proceeds are at the beginning of the presentation. I find it difficult when I've listened through a presentation and the whole time I'm distracted by, well, how much do these guys need and what stage are they at? Some companies do it. A lot of them wait till the end because they think asking for money is impolite. But I think it's really good to get that out of the way first. Yeah, and I also try and, when I talk to companies, I think one of the mistakes people make is trying to exaggerate where they are instead of telling me where they are. I think to get off on the right foot, I think the best thing to do is be really transparent about where you are. History. I love this. I read history. I listen to podcasts on history. I don't know. I found myself for my whole life really passionate about history. It's just it's something that I'm constantly working on and learning. And billiards and crosswords. I'm very good at the New York Times crossword. I guess one of the first things that excites me is I think that we have great schools. I think we have really strong immigration policies. And so I'm excited about the talent that is here now and is coming here. Number two, specific to Northern Ontario, is I think, we talk about the future of technology, and AI has been a big story for the past year or so. But mining is a big part of that story. And, the CHIPS Act that the Biden administration passed, if chip production is actually going to come back to North America, then mining is going to be a huge part of it. You can't really have one without the other. And I think that Northern Ontario is really well positioned on a global basis to deliver, to make that happen for North America. Find a mentor. That's true if you're starting out. It's good to have them later in life. It's good to have them in a big corporation. Someone who's looking out for you, and someone who you can go to with career advice, personal advice, life advice, whatever it is. I was told that early on and followed it, and it served me very well.